In Lesson 2, we will be learning about how to make beats in Ableton Live 10. Now, since you already have your folder, you have the option of either opening Ableton Live 10 from the menu, like you did before, or opening it from your folder. I already have this one project, recording one Mr. Teachy project, so I could just open that and then open the ALS file, which is the file that you're working in. Now, the view that you have here is called the stacks view. In the stacks view, you can imagine you are like a DJ who has stacks of records to work with. Each of these little boxes here is like a different record that you could spin on a turntable. What we're going to do in order to put together our very first drum loop is we're going to go over to Instruments, we're going to go to Impulse, we're going to click the little arrow that's next to Impulse so that the drop-down menu opens up, and then we're going to choose from one of the many different drum kits that we have on offer. Now, when you highlight one of these, it's going to give you a little sample of what it sounds like. It might sound like a drum loop, but this is not the drum loop. This is just giving you a tour of the instrument, basically. Like, this is what it sounds like when you start to work with it. So I'm going to go with the classic. I'm going to go with the Impulse 808. In order to start working with this drum set, you have to click it and then drag it over to this column here. I have an instrument here, but I still don't have a drum loop yet. In order to create a drum loop, what I have to do is click on one of these little boxes. I'm going to double click. Now I have access to the instrument. Now I can start creating music with it. So in order to make sure that I can hear what I'm creating, I'm going to click here on the headphones. So now when now I can hear. Without that headphone icon highlighted, I can't hear. So now that I've clicked it, I should be able to hear what I'm working with. This box here is set up so that you can create a drum loop, something that repeats. Right now, I only have 4 beats to work with. Those 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, and 4, are subdivided into quarters. So if I put a kick on each beat and I press play, I'm going to hear a kick on every single beat because after 4 beats it's going to repeat. What if I wanted to hear a kick on every other beat? The first way, probably the easiest way, is to just get rid of every other kick. The other way, if I want to keep those kicks in, is I could change the tempo. The tempo is located way up here in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Right now, it is playing at 120 beats per minute. So each of these beats here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, each of those counts as a beat that I'm hearing 120 of every minute. So these two here together, I'm hearing over the course of a second. So let's test that. 1 Mississippi. Yeah, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. That's about right. I think that's probably it. If I wanted to hear this half as frequently, what I would do is go to this 120 and just type in 60 and press enter. Now my tempo is half as fast because 60 is half of 120. So that is the same thing, in effect, as keeping this at 120 and taking out every other kick. So if you want it to go faster, you increase this number. If you want it to go slower, you decrease it. At this point, we have the makings of a 4 on the floor rhythm, where we've got a kick on every single on beat. If we want to keep that rhythm developing into what would be a very standard 4 on the floor rhythm, what we could do is put our snare on the 2 and the 4. And then to keep this getting a little more interesting, we could put a hi-hat on the beat and on the off beat as well. And there you go. You've got a dance rhythm that you can work with. So at this point, you have learned several things. You've figured out how to open up instruments, how to choose an instrument, and bring it over into this column so that you can start working with it by double-clicking on one of these boxes. You have also figured out how to add beats and how to take them away. It's the same process, you just double-click. You've also learned how to change the tempo. And so at this point, you have a blank canvas that you can work with as you please and start to figure out different combinations of beats and rhythms that will be interesting to your ear and that will form the basis of your first recording. In the next video, we will learn how to export our tracks so that you can take the music that you work in as an ALS file and turn it into an MP3 or a WAV, something you can send to your family and friends that they can put on their phones and listen to whenever they want. So until next time.